Welcome back to Common Folks, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, dude. Thanks for having me back. Appreciate it.
It's 2024, man. How's the year been treating you?
What?
2024. How's the year been treating you?
2020.
Oh, 2026.
Yeah, I'm like
How's the year
2024.
been
I'm
treating you?
like,
Good
I'm
God
like,
Almighty.
2026 has been treating me pretty good so far, man. I mean, as anything, ups and downs, but for the most part, man, I'll say 2026 has definitely treated the dude pretty well so far. So I don't got too many complaints.
Yeah, that's good, man. 2026 ain't going that good for me. And it's crazy that I said 2024 because I had some people do some tax for me. This girl, she did my taxes. And I just got an audit for 2024. So
Oh,
that's
yeah?
why that was on my mind.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, something had to happen in
Yeah,
2024. Cause
that's
I'm like,
crazy,
nigga, we
right?
far from there, nigga. I don't even remember how I was doing that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And you just gotta be careful of what you're doing.
Yeah,
Because sometimes they could come back and bite you.
absolutely, man. That's life, man. Choices. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to ask you first, the killing with the police officer on Blue Hills,
Yeah,
or the unaliving.
yeah.
What you think
Is he
about that?
is he dead? I thought he was still. They said he was in critical condition.
Well, from what I seen, he died,
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh
I didn't
okay.
look into it, but
Oh
from what I
shit.
seen, everybody was saying he died. What you think about that video, though?
I mean, the video. I mean, the video was what I could. It was pretty reckless. You know what I'm saying? And I say reckless just off the fact that there were already 3 to 4 other officers on the scene, containing the situation and kind of making sure to do that they didn't have to do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So for you to kind of pull up, say 2 words, and then let off, I just felt like it was very unfortunate, man. And it's very hard to watch because we've seen, and I don't want to make it a race thing, but it is what it is. We've seen white people attack the cops. We've seen white people fucking steal their cars, hop on them, do all kind of things, and they don't get the severity. They don't get the automatic punishment of getting their life taken. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just hard. Like I said, I think for me, what made it worse to watch was having the 3 or 4 other officers already there, kind of detaining them. And you know, when I was first watching the video, one of the first things I was looking for, I ain't gonna was the color I wanted to see. And when I seen that it was black officers and a black female and other people up there of color that were kind of keeping them calm and trying to make sure that that didn't escalate to the situation, to then see another cop pull up where you know, I don't know what his race was. I can't even say he was white. I don't, some pictures, some angles he looked Puerto Rican, some angles he looked white, so I can't really tell. But at the end of the day, like, to just pull up, say 2 words, and start letting off was crazy to watch, man. So I send my condolences out to the family of the dude, and you know, it's just another sad episode of Hartford, man.
Yeah, absolutely. They do have a tough job. But did you hear the guy that was recording? He said, "Yo, he got blood on the knife."
I did hear that. I heard that, but again, we're looking at the video from the point of what's going on right then and there. We don't know what happened 10 minutes prior. We don't know what happened 20 minutes prior. That thing could have been cooking. That could have been blood, food from blood. Like, we don't know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the cops were there because of a murder or because of something he attempted to do prior. And that's why the one cop pulled up and took the action. But at the end of the day, just watching the portion of the video that we had accessible to us, based off of that, it was just a senseless killing by another, Hartford cop.
You know, people normally they paint cops in a bad light. Seeing that you had 3 officers there, and then you had one that just pulled up and did what he did, is it fair to judge all cops off of one cop's bad
Nah,
action?
no, and that's why I'm not like cops cop. That's why I'm like that particular cop. Just from watching the video and watching how long the other cops were containing the situation and were trying to subdue the situation and make sure, and there were times where he kind of came at them with the knife to where if they gonna take it to court, they did have the right to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were some
Pretty
points
much.
where he kind of ran with the attack of the knife, and
Yeah.
they even then they didn't shoot. They still just backed up and got louder, got a little more aggressive with their voices, and kind of subdued the dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So again, for that officer to just kind of pull up, pull out, say get back, the dude kind of had the knife on the side when he was walking towards him. So the point I'm trying to make is he was more aggressive towards the other cops who were more calm than they were to the dude, than he was to the person who actually shot him.
Correct. And that's true. I did see that. They gave him, matter of fact, I didn't even really see him up their gun on him.
They didn't really. They had it in their hand, but again, I think number one, I think people having the video cameras played a role in that. I also think people screaming out that he has medical issues played a role in that. I also think that those cops that were already there being the same color skin played a role in that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just think, and they look younger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of the cops, all of them there, the three that were there prior, the one that pulled up, they all looked pretty young. So I feel like it was a new wave of cops, but I felt like they were more streetwise and just kind of more up to date on what's going on in the community prior to becoming cops. So when they became cops, you can kind of tell like they didn't really have a gun pointed at them. Like I said, even when the dude kind of somewhat attacked them or somewhat came towards them a little more aggressive with the knife,
right,
they still didn't really point their guns at them as if, to deter. They used a better tone of voice, or they used like a harder tone of voice and stuff like that. But yeah, it was. I didn't know he died, but I mean, either way, I think it was a tough and a terrible situation.
Do you think because I like what you said, you looked at the people that looked like him, and they were more lenient on him,
Yeah.
and they were trying to de-escalate the situation.
Right.
Do you think that things would be better as far as policing if we had more of people, I guess from their particular neighborhood, policing their neighborhood?
I do, man. I've always felt that way, to be honest with you. And I know it is. I know a couple friends that I grew up with who are Hartford cops. You know what I'm saying? They grew up in Hartford and they're Hartford cops. You know what I'm saying? And I know people who grew up in Hartford who became officers or policemen in other areas. You know what I'm saying? Because they just didn't want to do it in their own particular community because of whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like, I know in my own personal situations, when I've had the cops call on me or I've been in situations with the cops, to see a black or a Puerto Rican cop kind of pull up as opposed to a white cop, like, I'm not going to say I'm more at ease, but I will say, like, I feel like my chances of walking away without being in cuffs are a lot higher. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like my chances of being able to explain myself and having somebody that can actually understand what I'm saying and make sense of logical what I'm saying outside of just like the law and like we got a call from, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be like, listen, this is what's going on, man. Like, I'm just trying to get the fuck up out of here. Like, I just want you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a better chance of getting out that situation a lot cleaner and a lot less stress-free than I would if a white cop pulled up, you know what I'm saying, who got the attitude and the hat tilt and all that kind of wild shit, you know? Because I'll be scared. As soon as they get out that car, he took that, I'm on the phone like, God damn, I need somebody because, man, I know I'm going to jail.
Yeah, man, I've had my share of fears of running into the police. I ain't gonna lie, and but I think all my run-ins has been good. I ain't even gonna hold you, except for this one cop, this white cop named Kessler. When I was living on Magnolia Street, man, he came to my house and threatened me. Told me he's gonna break my neck. It was wild in my house. And when my mom and my sister walked in, he knew my little sister because my little sister was bad. So he knew my mom and my sister because they was always having to cross paths at school.
Right.
But it's a whole different story. I want to kind of change gears a little bit. Last time you was here, you look like you had more weight on you.
Yeah,
What
man.
is your fitness journey like?
Yeah, man. So the fitness, I mean, I've been locked in. Yeah, man. I think honestly, just kind of changing my surroundings played a major role too. That and just like I said, just kind of really locking in, just really locking in on my fitness goal. Just because when we had first came, I was really just trying to get that body fat percentage off, just kind of get back to a like workable, tonable body weight. You know what I'm saying? And now since then, that's what I've been doing. So I kind of picked up the cardio a little bit more. My workout routine and habits haven't really changed. It's just I've been adding a little bit more cardio, and from now I just really leaned up pretty fast.
Yeah. So what is the diet like? You change your diet?
So I mean, right now, since I've lost majority of the body fat that I put on, kind of just sitting around in the hospital, sitting around in the bed, my main goal right now is to kind of put, I don't want to say size because everybody be like, you already got size, but just to put a little more muscle back on. You know what I'm saying? That's my primary goal right now. So I am not a huge eater, and that's always been a huge problem for my fitness level, for my fitness journey. As far as trying to get as big as I was trying to get, or just trying to do certain things with my body, just because I'm not a huge eater. Intermittent fast a lot. I've been doing it for years. So I don't have an appetite. It's very hard for me to eat. I have to really, really force myself to get up and cook and make food or go get food to eat and stuff like that. I'll legitimately go all day without eating. Like, it don't bother me. I don't get hungry. I'll be cool. You know what I'm saying? So that's my biggest issue. Right now, I'm just trying to get myself up to eat 2 to 3 times a day, like on a consistent basis. I have seen a difference when I do it on a consistent basis as opposed to when I kind of stagger on and off to certain days. But yeah, it's just, for me, it's just primarily just eating. Like that, just getting calories in my body for my muscle to feed off them. That's the journey for me right now.
Yeah. I'm asking because most people that talked about your first interview,
Mhm.
they love what you were saying about your fitness journey. So, and you're a personal trainer. So, as a personal trainer, what is like the best way to lose weight in your opinion?
So, all right. So, what I will say, because there are 2 answers to that, right? So, there is losing weight, and then there's recomping your body. Now, you could lose weight by just being more active. You know what I'm saying? That's why that 10,000 step thing, 15,000 step thing is such a huge plateau on your Apple Watch or any kind of synchronized walking thing that you do. That's why that 10,000 steps is a big landmark, because it burns a certain amount of calories. You know what I'm saying? So just getting more active will help you lose weight. Watching what you eat, your diet, those 2 things alone will help you lose weight. Now, will you like the way you look once you lose weight? Now, that's a completely different question.
Right.
And that's when, like, recomping the body is a complete different thing. Recomping the body, we're doing resistance training. We're lifting with weights, we're lifting with bands, we're doing things to stress the body, to cause hypertrophy, to allow the body to restructure and rebuild the muscle to get bigger and stronger. Now, as you're burning fat, once you do that, now you start building these curves, you start seeing these angles, you start seeing your hips going, which makes your butt look bigger, which makes your legs look nice. You know, that's how there is really an optical illusion a lot of times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially in the gym. So yeah, that's the basic. That is the basic answer. If you want to just lose weight, just get more active and watch what you eat. If you want to recomp your motherfucking body, you have to watch your macros. You gotta get in the gym 3 to 4 times a week doing resistance training that is actually pushing your body to have to recover and to have to rebuild. If you're going in there just sitting there enough to sweat and take some fucking pictures and you're not getting the results, that's fucking why. All the results are in the shit that you're not doing. I'm gonna say that shit all the time. So
Let me ask you this, right? Because, you know, before I ask you that, let everybody know where they can reach you at. You a personal trainer. They want to lock in with you and do some work with you or hire you to help them with their fitness goals. Where they can reach you?
So you can reach me on Facebook at Greg Lawler, GregOry Lawler, LOLLAR. On Instagram, Raw Fitness 31, RAFITNESS 31. Or you can just call me, 860-888-6791. That's the best way to get in contact with me. I'm always picking up the phone. I'm always on my phone. I'm always going to make sure I get in contact and return with my clients. So just hit me up if you're trying to get a contract or trying to get in contact with me. If you want to lose some weight, transform your body, transform your life. This is not just a body thing. This is a lifestyle thing. So, you know, if you're not in it to win it, don't hit me up.
Right. Yeah, I definitely hit them up. I believe you do online and in person.
I do in person. I do virtual training. I create programs for people who are already in the gym but just need a new program to do whatever it is they're trying to do. I also do meal plans, meal preps, virtual. I also do health juices, detox juices. Yeah, I'm in the fitness. I'm in the fitness game all the way around.
Right. I gotta ask you this. Most people don't know about this, but because I work out, I go to the gym,
Right.
and I know a few personal trainers too, so I'm locked in that world. Is it really a thing where personal trainers are like sleeping with their clients?
Oh, that's funny. You mean like the stigma that we get is
Yeah, like
like
personal trainers checking off their clients. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but I'm not gonna say yeah because everybody's different, and I
Yeah.
feel like it depends on what stage that person is in and when the microscope is on him. Because if the microscope is on him on that phase where that's what he's doing,
Yeah.
and it just so happened like he's also popping at the same time, but he's also fucking all his clients at the same time, that's what you about to be known for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like If you just known for your work and and every now and again you just happen to hit off your clients every now and again, I mean, you might. I mean, see me personally, bro. I don't even pay attention. I have no idea what the stigma is around me as a personal trainer. I don't
Right.
know if I'm the personal trainer that fucks clients. I don't know if I'm the one that just get the work done and you know for just results. I don't know because I don't ask. I just focus on
Mm.
my clients and what I'm doing, you know,
Yeah.
and my purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't really focus on a lot of the outside noise because that's how you end up changing yourself and your morals and your stances based on what other people think. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Right.
but that is funny though. I do get tagged in a lot of those like if you're a nurse, a personal trainer, an Amazon worker, like you a whole type. So I get tagged in a lot of those shits a lot of times. So I'm very familiar with the stigma, and I just try to keep myself out of the mix when it comes to that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's gotten easier. I can honestly say it's gotten easier over the years. Like I train 98% females. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for me, after a while, it's just I just like to help people. That's why I got into the game anyway. I didn't get to the game to get closer to females. Like that was never an issue for me. But just being able to help people change their lives, that's my main course. So
Yeah, for sure. So, since seeing that it is a thing, who you think is the ones doing the initiating? Do you think it's the clients, or you think it's the personal trainer? Based off of what you've heard and what you know, is it the clients that's trying the personal trainers, or the personal trainer that's trying the clients? Because I see the memes too.
I
You can't
mean,
ignore the memes.
so I mean, it's both. It's both. Sometimes again, it depend. I can't tell you other personal trainers experience because I don't know. I don't really have a lot of personal ties with a lot of other personal trainers. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with a couple on speaking terms. I've worked with a couple and in the same building, in the same vicinity and stuff like that. But I don't have a day-to-day contact with another particular personal trainer to where I can exchange a story without saying a name. I really don't know. I know my experiences, and sometimes it is a client, and sometimes it's the trainer. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it is what it is. Some it be like that sometimes. I ain't even gonna cap. Like sometimes it's what you just be like, look, man, like
yeah.
if she that lift and look at me one more time like that, nigga, like we both going home to take a shower together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then there's times, honestly, real shit. There is times where I've had people inbox me and it is completely about training. I mean, it's been months, like on and off for months about training and schedules and trying to figure out what works and this and this and that. And you start giving a lineup and you start doing this, and then they hit you with like is training the only service you provide, like, and you already know what type, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you get some of those, and that's another reason why when I used to do like in-home training to where I would go to people's houses, or if you had a facility in your apartment building or something like that, I would just go to you and trade. That's why I was very, very selective on like who I train and like who I accepted for certain things like that, just because that is it's a very slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? And like people can accuse you of anything, especially when you're in your house. You know what I'm saying? If there's no cameras there 24/7 like it is on a TV show, anybody can say anything. So for me, it was just better to be very, very picky and conscious of who I accepted and who I took those kind of rules with.
Is it is married women a part of this too? Like, you think married women out here getting these personal trainers and living their fantasies?
Um,
Still laughing.
um, bruh, I won't even put a label whether it's married or single women. I feel like it could be anybody. You know what
No,
I'm
I
saying?
mean it makes a difference though, like a big difference if you married, especially if you're husband.
Well,
Because a
I
lot
mean,
of times,
I think for the female, I don't think okay. I don't like see. I'm not big into sleeping with my clients because number one, like, did I have a time where I went through and I used to do that shit? Absolutely. I'm not gonna sit here and cap. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? I realized that it really fucks up the money. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because a lot of females gonna be like, bro, I'm not about to give you pussy and be paying you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bitch, well, you getting dick in return too. Like, but you about to get a free service also. So like, where's the like dividend? You know what I'm saying? Um, so you gotta like, I feel like that shit, you gotta kind of like, you gotta kind of snip that shit. And once you do, you just focus on your work, and then your work kind of speaks for itself. And anything that works to get you clients is one thing, but once you get a client, your professionalism so always kind of speak first. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I feel about it. There were days where I used to put out thirst traps and towel pics and shit like that when I first started to get eyes on me just to get some clientele. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. But now I prefer my work to speak for itself, and watching my clients lose weight and get stronger and just posting that, and continuously showing my other businesses and skills that I can offer as a person outside of just sex appeal.
Nah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, the gym world is crazy, man.
It is, man. It's a lot more. Honestly, it's a lot more crazier than what people know. I've seen couples start gymming together and break up and start dating other people in the gym.
Damn.
Like legit split, like break up, and then she's dating this dude, he's dating this chick from the gym. Like I've seen, bro, I've seen a lot of crazy shit. I've seen infidelities. I've seen chicks that I know got men in the gym with other people, or super choosy in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen it all, dude. So for me, it's just kind of like, just another asset of the world, man. Just another thing to watch out for.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But don't mean don't let your wife not get a personal trainer. Like you got to be secure and knowing what the fuck is going on. And if you feel insecure about it, get in the gym with her. That is always my number one type thing. Like if you a guy and your female wife, friend, or somebody you like is in the gym, I would tell you get in the gym with them, because after a while, like you ain't even gonna be in the picture. So
yeah, I mean, either way, it's a double whammy, man. You got to get in there, and if you can lose it in there, and if you're not in there, it makes it even more of a delicate situation.
You got to look at it like this, right? You can get in there and let her lose all the weight and then call you lazy, and she got a brand new body to show that she wasn't lazy. Or you can get in there with her and her true character gonna show. If she get in there and get a brand new body and she out on you, nigga, then you just saved yourself time, and at least you got a brand new body too. You know what I'm saying? Or you in the process of getting a brand new body. So at the end of the day, you should still be getting in there trying to get your shit right. Not just because she is, but because you want to be able to have your shit right too. So, and if she leave you, nigga, fuck it.
That's a fact. I agree with that. That is 100% fact. I don't know if you involved in politics. You pay attention in that realm in any way, shape, or form. But I wanted to ask you, this war that we got going on in the Middle East. What do you think about Trump deciding that he was gonna go ahead and drop some bombs on Iran?
I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like Trump already knew he was going to have to. If you look at a lot of the stuff he said prior to what he's doing right now, everything he said was contradicting to everything he promised that he wasn't going to do. And again, I'm not huge on politics, but at the end of the day, history repeats itself. So it's not very, very hard to see in between the lines. It is not very hard to see history repeating itself again. Like us becoming allies with Israel to do, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, man. Like watching this dude, listening to this man speak is very hard, man, because I look at other countries and I know they're laughing at us. I know they're looking at us and they're like, yo, this is the man that's representing this country right now. You know what I'm saying? And I know the table was turning on us. And I feel like that's really what's going on. We did a lot of bullying, we did a lot of massacring, we did a lot of pillaging, we did a lot of conquering. We stuck our nose in a lot of business we had no business sticking our nose into. We made a lot of treaties and broke them. We done a lot of things. We done been the big bad bullies of the world for a long time. And now I feel like the tables are starting to turn and people are starting to see like, we may not be as big as bad as we thought we was. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the leader that we have.
I agree. And I think, well, let me not tell you what I think. I agree with that. We've pretended like everybody else was terrorists, but we're technically the terrorists. So, do you think that Israel and America's relationship is healthy? I'm talking healthy for us.
It seems as if they're reliant on us, right? You can't blackmail or be reliant on somebody unless you got power or something over them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's always something behind the curtain that we don't know as civilians and as people who are not You know what I'm saying? Another thing is I also feel like as like these Epstein files get released and these FBI files get released every 6 or 7 years and all this kind of stuff with all this updated information about how they tracking us and the killings and who were spies and all this wild shit that's going on, I think it's just making it a lot easier for people to make decisions on their own and to really see like what you hear and what you see on the news. I think everybody knows now the news is fucking fake. And that's, you know what I'm saying? And like, Donald Trump said that shit too, but look, that was real. We've been on that. The news been motherfucking fake. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, again, the stance that we have with Israel was kind of weird to me because why are they so reliant on us and can count on us to go and fight their battles without having some kind of pull or tug or something over their shoulder that we don't know about? You know what I mean?
Correct.
So, you know, that's chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people look at the world and look at these wars as checkers and shit like that. But you know, like I said, history repeats itself, and I'm a huge history buff.
Yeah, I agree. Now that you're talking about history, do you think that the history we learned in school, especially about these wars that was fought, and the reason the wars was fought, was accurate?
Hell no, nigga, because even when we was out of school, they was lying to us about wars, going to Iran to get pipes and metal plastics, and nigga, now we know what the fuck they was in there for. So we know all the reasons they tell us. And we also know, based on statistics, that like 75 to 80% of all U.S. attacks are planned and executed from inside the fucking U.S. You know, at some point, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or we have some association with the planning, you know, at some point. So, what was the original question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, history. Because you said you was a
Yeah.
Do you think the history that we were taught?
Oh, that shit was
accurate?
bullshit.
Yeah.
Of course, man. Listen, the winners write the history books, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The winners write the history. That's why all the pyramids had their nose chopped off. That's why we fought you. You know what I'm saying? That's why we had to find out centuries later that they was all black. And you know, everything is whitewashed. Our movies, the fucking propaganda that we've been fed majority of our lives, that all of that shit is just bullshit. So why wanting the bullshit in the books that they give us and fed us to get us just like this? Why wouldn't it be bullshit? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to think about it, bro. Think about where Black history starts in school. They either teaching you roots or some bullshit from out the book when we were slaves. They don't teach you nothing pre-slavery about Black people. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They teach you a little bit about the Indians, and then they just come and conquer them, and kill them, and call it Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't teach you nothing prior to them winning, conquering, enslaving, and pillaging fucking areas. And that's why I say the winners write the history books, because if we could go back and write the story of what the fuck was happening, how we was already here, some of us was already here prior to being on the ship, and a whole bunch of other shit, like the way we would look at ourselves would be a lot different. I think we'd be a lot less able to be mentally fooled and mentally locked into certain things. But yeah, man, like our history is so fucked up because majority of it was whitewashed and you know, chopped down. And then the other half, we just finding out about it, and I don't want to say it's too late, but you know, the rabbit hole goes deep, and sometimes it's too late to dig.
Yeah, I agree. Because at the end of the day, if we had a better image of our forefathers, we would have more pride in what we do.
Right.
And what they did, they just left us with slavery. Right. That's who you are, and that's kind of like the self-concept we have. We don't got no heroes or nobody to look up to. Like, this man did some great things, and right. I want to be better than him. The best they gave you is Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
And what's so crazy is like we've had so many more influential, more power. I don't want to say, I'm not saying that they weren't influential. It's just that we've had other characters and other people in Black history who have really pushed the envelope and set forth for other things for us that we don't even know about. I mean, you know, they saying Martin Luther King ain't even died when he got shot. He died in the hospital. They say he got shot and lived, and he went to the hospital, and somebody went in there and smothered his ass with a pillow to finish the job. Like, that story has been going around for fucking, I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? But not too many people know about that shit. They also saying that he was a spy. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like, it's so much propaganda, and it's hard to believe. Like I remember one time, right, just as a grown man, and you know, loving jewelry and like you know, liking to look nice and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I remember hearing a quote where it was like going through the battle where it was like, you know, Black people like to look rich and blase, 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 and then on the other end, it was like, nah, go look at our history, nigga. Go look at our history in Egypt. Like gold we was rocking gold teeth and gold jewelry and gold, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Since before they put Jesus on a book, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been rocking gold, we've been showing royalty and purple and gold and all those kind of things. Like we've been on that kind of stuff way before they introduced us to what they introduced us to in school. So it's a very hard like battle to kind of to deal with when our history doesn't have a face. You know what I'm saying? Like our
right.
history doesn't have a solid backing or solid understanding of like where we come from, and then you find out, nigga, we came from everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm,
find out like every troop, every race, whether it was Chinese, whether they were Indian, like they were all started all dark skinned, and it just goes back into all of these fucking books. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I don't know. It's a hard pill to swallow, but you got to do your own studies and get your own belief system and question what you got to question, because that's what the fuck I do. All right, I'm not listening or believing nothing that somebody just telling me just because.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not doing that no more. This is the last question I got on this topic. Um, I had seen a video with Minister Farrakhan, and he was talking about this book called The History of Blacks and Jews.
Mm-hmm.
And I started reading it, and I had no clue that the Jews was involved in the slave trade
Mm-hmm.
until I started reading that book. And all of the sources he posted is from Jewish commentary and Jewish books. So this is not nothing he made up. It came from them. And that Christopher Columbus was funded not just by the king, but most of the Jews that was kicked out of Spain in that time. Did you know that the Jews had anything to do with the slave trade? Like they was buying and selling?
Yes, I'm gonna say yes and no. Yes, I did, but I didn't know they played as much of a hand in it, which is why when you asked me that question about Israel, I said exactly what the fuck I said, because when you start going through the timeline, they've always had a major hand in every aspect: financial, the movie business, the fashion industry, like the fucking real estate. They've always had, and I mean, you're starting to see all the year, and what's crazy is you're starting to see these stories of where they've taken over like school councils or councils of areas and taking funding from African American schools and putting funding into their private areas and their private territories and their
Mm.
private whatever they got that are pushing their agendas. You know what I'm saying? So now it's only like, damn, how long has this been going on and how deep does this rabbit hole go? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But if you look at the history books, they've always been there. I want the Rothschilds, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they have always had a major play and a major role in American history. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah, man. I ain't even gonna when you say the Rothschilds, and you said history is written by those who won,
Mm-hmm.
I think that whole World War, especially when it started with Hitler, I think that was about his banking system. I think
Well,
Germany and like his banking system.
Germany didn't like Hitler because Hitler, bro, I'm gonna just say Hitler was no different from Malcolm X. Hitler was no different from Martin Luther King. Hitler was no different from the rest of these people as far as what he was preaching, as far as going against the government and trying to do what was right for his people.
Yeah.
That was what Hitler was trying to do. It now, did he take certain existential efforts to do that? Absolutely. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But at the end of the day, he wasn't doing no more than what Black Lives Matters was doing. He wasn't doing no more than what other social groups that go and protest, the guns against kids and all that. Like, I don't feel like he was doing anything no different than what this. It's the same thing to me. You
Yeah,
know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? Especially now that they got AI and they like translated his speech.
Yeah.
And if you listen to the speech, like, the motherfucker ain't saying nothing wrong.
Yeah, yeah. We can't
He's
disagree.
not saying nothing that ain't going on right the fuck now.
Right.
And that's the worst part about it. Like, he ain't saying nothing that has not happened or is not going on right now.
That's a fact. I agree.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, propaganda. They know how to make a certain person look a certain way. They know how, and I'm not saying what he did was right. What I'm saying is he was power for his people, man. And they took him out the same way they take anybody else who's power for their people and not for the government.
Right, right. I agree. It's unfortunate, man. That propaganda is I think, the highest form of warfare.
Absolutely.
And if you can win that, you can change the world. I think was it Malcolm X? He said, the media has the power to make the innocent look guilty and the guilty look innocent.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why the people who do have the power, they control the information. So
They do. They
people
do.
got to be careful of what
They-
you taking in.
They feel right, and that's why I'm a huge, like, I don't watch a lot of TV. I do more studying. If I want to know something, if I see a post about a speech that happened or about some shit Trump said, like, I'm going to go do the research on the post. Like, I'm going to go try to find a video. I'm going to go try to find an excerpt from a reputable source and do my research from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't really watch the news that much because I don't watch programming. I pick and choose whatever it is I really want to watch. If I just want to laugh, I'll find something funny to watch. If I want some action or something, I'll rewatch the same fucking movies over and over just because I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with that. So I don't really. I know I'm always hip to what the fuck going on in history. Like I said, because history repeats itself, and it's very easy to see and read between the lines once you catch the drift. But
That's a fact. I gotta agree with that. I want to ask you this though. Last time we spoke on relationships. You was, shouting out your lady and all that. And then after that, we spoke again.
Right.
That was the last interview that we spoke again. And you said, "Yo, bro, I'm not doing that no more. I'm moving into my own spot now."
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
What happened between you and Shorty? If you can share it safely.
Nah, I'm not. I mean, I'm not going badmouth her because it wasn't really a bad breakup. I just think we wanted two different things. So, it was just best for us to go in two different directions. Like, it was no bad blood. It wasn't nothing crazy. I mean, to me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it wasn't no love lost, bro. Like, it is what it is. Nothing lasts forever. And sometimes shit don't move the way we all want it to move. And we just got to go. And I always say you got to go where you can have it your way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what we both did.
I like that. That's interesting. Because my perspective on relationships is you gotta compromise. Right? There has to be a compromise.
Yeah, but then once you see that there's nothing left to compromise, you know what I'm saying? Like the only thing next is your character. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
That's the only thing that's left. Your character and your manhood. That's the only thing left to compromise. You know what I'm saying? And you got to pick and choose whether you're gonna stay or whether you're gonna compromise that. And for me, for both of us, I just felt like, I think we both felt like it just wasn't worth the compromising anymore. So.
Yeah, damn, that's unfortunate because compromising is like the number one thing that makes the relationship work.
It does. You're right. It does. It does. But it does. You're right. You're right. Compromise. But sometimes I also feel like certain things are just not going to be for you. And certain things are just not going to be for your significant other. You know what I'm saying? And I think once y'all realize that, there's no point in continue to waste time. There's no point in keeping the boat afloat when, it's better for y'all to just hop on your old boats and go your own ways. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Like it was definitely a learning experience for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that was and I think that's why I never really look at relationships as like horrible. Like it's always something to learn. I'm always trying to get something out of a situation. So I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot from that situation. And it's, it's only gonna help me be a better man and a better person, in the next one. So I don't really dread or fall and say I wish I had did it, none of that shit. Like it was a good ride, you know what I'm saying?
What is your biggest takeaway from that relationship?
My biggest takeaway from that relationship. Number one, I felt like you gotta vet people a little bit more. And when I say vet people, not so much just street vet, but vet for your future.
What do you mean by that?
So, when most people say they vetting to see if a female is a whore, they vetting to see if a female been passed around, they vetting to see, but they're not really vetting to see, like, is this person capable or qualified or has the capacity to, like, do the things that I need to be done to move the future forward or to move the things I want to do in the future forward. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes it's just, like, your upbringing, who you've been brought up around, your family members, was your dad in the pit, like little things like that that I never really paid attention to or thought played a major role in relationships and shit like that, but they really do. And it's not to be judgeful, it's just to be mindful. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because when there are, just like there are results for females who say they don't want to mess with guys who have bad relationships with their mom or no relationship with their family, and because it comes with a certain stigma of you having to do certain things or baby them or blase blase. But some people still do it anyway, but it's because you need to be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can deal with that shit in a high capacity or any capacity that your significant partner needs, then that's cool. And if you can, then you shouldn't do it. That's more or less what I mean when I say vetting for your future. Like vetting for like the reality of being in a relationship, vetting for the reality of planning a future, that type of thing with somebody.
Yeah, I agree. I've been married for a good while now, but I do look out and I be like, damn, folks ain't really thinking about the type of individual they with in the long term.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, because I'm gonna say a lot of relationships aren't necessarily battle tested. Um, and when I say that, I don't mean battle tested by like niggas saying on your bitch. Like that's gonna always happen. Nigga, your bitch is gonna always have a inbox full of niggas, no matter what she look like. If she got a vagina, it's always gonna be somebody want to hit. You feel me? Like
that's a fact.
that ain't new. That ain't gonna never be new. That ain't gonna never go out of style. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So for me, it's just more or less like what do they again? What part of life are most important to you as you get older? You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Like what part of life becomes more, like is peace more important for you? Is looking at something that look good as fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm.
does that matter to you, or does having like a solid partner or a person that speak you up or a person that like is that important to you? Like, depending on what it is, like you gotta look for that shit in a person because the lack thereof at some point in time is gonna become a factor. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And listen, I'm not saying don't be with an attractive person. You know what I'm saying? That is not what the fuck I'm saying. Because if you can't be able to look at her, or look at him when y'all roll over or at any point in time, like that shit is over. So I'm not saying that. Don't be. If people be on that like, oh, like it's not always about the looks. Yes, the fuck it is. Yes, because they know you're not giving no ugly person a real opportunity to get to know you or to move forward without you being attracted to them. So yes, attraction is always going to be number one. Don't be fooled. Attraction is always going to be number one. Find somebody that you're attracted to that you can look at every day while they're naked, when you're mad, when you're happy, when you're drunk, no matter what it is. Just find that's the person you want to start with, and then build from there. See if they mentally up there from there, and then if not, then you handle your business.